So this is your first like year doing it? Oh, that's so cool. Foundation. And you do that with hot and then you just get your phone. They do not mix well together.
Thank you.
On the new album. Taylor Swift. That's it.
To your novice runner-up, 152, Stina Christensen.
Yes. Come on. Yes, Paige.
And your wellness novice champ, Paige Martin.
Yes, Paige.
Silver medal to your Class B runner-up, 162, Nayara Alves.
Come on. Yes.
Taking the Class B title, moving to the wellness overall, Paige Martin.
Yes. Come on, Paige.
All right, good job, ladies.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. So we're now 8 days post show. We have tried filming this, actually this is the third time. Yeah, the camera decided to cut out. We rambled on for about half an hour, realised I cut out, so we tried again and basically Keenan's phone died, so we kind of just gave up. That was a couple of days ago now. In all honesty, like the last like I'm 6 days out again now from my final show, and the last like 2 days I've just been absolutely wiped. Like my tank has literally just been below empty. Like I've been in reserve fuel, and yeah, mustered up the energy today. We didn't get a lot of footage from show day just because, like I'd said to Keenan with the first 2 shows, just how manic they were. I really wanted him to be present on for the show rather than trying to focus on being behind the camera and capturing everything. Because I know how important it is for him as well. When I compete, it's just as important to him as what it is to me. So I just felt like it was just important to be present. And like I said, just not being too focused on being behind the camera. So yeah, we're going to talk through it instead. Just basically kind of leading up to the show, maybe like actually on show day, and just, yeah, all that kind of stuff. So my peak week was very, very different this time round. It was very nice, very enjoyable. Well, the first part wasn't very enjoyable because we did spend the first half kind of doing it the opposite way to how my other peaks were. So this time round, we'd spent up until the Thursday just fully depleting. So very, very minimal carbs, like absolute minimum. Food just generally went lower. Cardio stayed in, and I was doing depletion workouts. So I was doing pretty much the same sessions as what I would, but aiming more for like 20 plus rep sets, just to really just get rid of any glycogen that would be left in me, if there was any at that point. But yeah, then Thursday, Friday, we spent fat loading, which was very, very nice. Like the actual volume of food that I was having was very small, but it was very satiating. And I think just generally as well, like mentally, I just felt better. I just felt a lot clearer. The brain fog just wasn't as bad as what it had been. And then show day, again, very, very different to how it has been previously. Obviously, like this show now was with my new coach, whereas the other shows were with my other coach, so they're going to have their different methods. But yeah, show day this time round, I had so much food, like it was insane. Like first thing in the morning, I woke up at 4, did my check-in and everything. I was instructed to have 100 grams cream of rice at 5 o'clock, which was just insane. Like, yeah, I was in heaven. I think it was with 30 grams of protein, 40 grams of jam, 40 grams of almond butter. So that just went down an absolute treat. I was also given a protocol for my water as well. So by the time I did get on stage, it was running a bit late. So I think it was about 6 o'clock in the evening in the end. But I'd had about, I think, over 3 litres of water by the time I was getting on stage, which again is a lot more than what I'd had in previous shows. But yeah, food wise, I'd had the cream of rice, and then my second meal, which I had at 8 o'clock, which I had on my way to my makeup appointment. Again, absolutely amazing. 2 squares bars, 6 rice cakes with 100 grams of jam, 40 grams of almond butter. Incredible. And then I basically had a repeat of the cream of rice meal at 11. And then basically later on, I had a repeat of the squares bars and the rice cakes. I think that was about 3 o'clock maybe. But this time round it was 4 rice cakes and no almond butter, just because we wanted to keep it with just the high GI carbs, make sure it just kind of went in, filled me up, and just wasn't kind of, like with the almond butter, obviously it's going to make it take longer to digest. So yeah, food-wise, I felt like I was eating like an absolute queen, which was just amazing. And it really paid off as well. Like I was nice and full. My midsection stayed nice and tight. And overall, yeah, it was just, I couldn't have been happier with the package I brought on show day. But yeah, so obviously it was my first 2 bro show, which I knew with it being very close to the pro qualifier, the standard was going to be very, very high. And I saw the girls backstage, and like literally every single one of them looked absolutely incredible. And it was nice because like this time round, like with the other shows, I'm not sure if it's because I knew I wasn't bringing 100% to the other shows, because they were kind of just last minute decisions, and I knew my conditioning wasn't there. I don't know if then when I saw the other girls, I was a bit like, oh shit, you know. This time round, like I didn't overthink it at all. I was like, do you know what? Like, I'm bringing my best. It is what it is. If I come dead last, then so be it. Like, you know, fair play. But I managed to get a first in both my categories, which was novice and open class B. Went into the overall, which I didn't get, but it was a completely fair decision on the judges' behalf, because the girl that did have the overall, she was insane. And I know she's been pro card chasing for a while, I think. So yeah, it was just well deserved. But honestly, like I couldn't even believe that I'd had the first in my categories. So yeah, just genuinely like couldn't have been happier with how the day panned out. And it was nice, like, well, we had a bit of long travel home then, didn't we? But it was nice because Neil was like, you know, just go and enjoy some food, which we did. There's a place down the road from us which we've been dying to try for so long, pretty much since we moved up here, and it was absolutely amazing. Like, yeah, can't even describe it. So I do love a good burger, but like this place, they do burgers as well, but they basically do a burger but in a brioche sandwich, like a brioche toasted sandwich. And yeah, they do like loaded fries and stuff, and it's just like full of cheese, and like, oh, it was insane.
If you're ever in Sheffield, it's called Harlem House. I highly recommend.
Tiny bit on the spicier side for me. I'm a bit of a baby with spice, but it was so nice. Like, it was just, yeah, it didn't faze me, to be honest. But yeah, following day then, it was kind of like, obviously with me having this final show, it would be directly 2 weeks after. So ideally, like, back on plan ASAP. But Neil did say to me, look, obviously, you know, have some structure back in place today. Like, you don't need to be 100% on plan. You know, you can enjoy some food, but just have some structure. Like, get your steps in, do a bit of cardio, that kind of thing, you know. So obviously not 100% on plan, but also not being a dick either. So yeah, it was nice to just kind of be a little bit more relaxed. Just, for example, even just like having sourdough with my breakfast, like that was the first thing I said, wasn't it? I was like, I want to have sourdough with my breakfast, because before prep, or even at like the start of prep as well, breakfast was always bacon medallions, eggs and sourdough, and that got taken away, and now it's literally just eggs and egg whites. So just even the simplest things like that, like generally I just crave kind of more foods I would usually have on plan anyway. But yeah, since then it's just been like back to the grind. We increased cardio as well, because I did say I just want to basically do as much as I can just to bring as much condition as I can for this last show, just because why not? It's the final stretch. Yeah, so we increased cardio to 60 minutes on Stairmaster, which I can't lie, each day has gotten that a little bit harder. And then the last 2 mornings, I genuinely thought I was just not going to do it. But I did. Just about. I thought I was going to cry yesterday when I was on there, but I didn't. But yeah. 6 days out now from the next one. So literally in the final push. Couple more days of the low food. And we're kind of going to run the similar thing again as last time. So like fats will go in from Thursday. And from then it's just going to be up really. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it about like my side. I don't know if you want to go through anything.
Yeah, I'll
From
just...
your perspective.
Yeah, so obviously was a completely different protocol, as she said, different coach, so... But I gotta say, like, it worked a treat. Like, since I've known Paige, there's always been this issue in her where, like, she does suffer with her digestion. We do see her a lot more in females anyway, but we have, like, noticed that she hasn't got the best digestion, and there's a lot of things that cause her to bloat and things like that. We've been trying to figure it out for ages. Like, absolutely ages. We've trial and errored so many different things.
I know that's, well, I have actually come to realise I was saying about before, wasn't I? But obviously it's been evident now because I had it the other day, is the whey. So some whey proteins, the ones that I've noticed it with for myself is the Perform and the Naughty Boy. Obviously they are very nice tasting, very thick consistency, very well in mixability. But obviously there's a reason why, is because they've got more ingredients, like there's more additives, fillers, all that kind of stuff, which my digestion just doesn't like, basically. So I need a whey that has less of that. So typically like an isolate would be my best bet. But even using like ones that are like blends, so I found like the Conte and the Train by GP works very, very well, because it's like half and half isolate and whey. Obviously they are thinner, but yeah, it is what it is. But I was having my kind of suspicions about it. But the other day I did have the Perform instead of the Train by JP, and yeah, obviously the next day then it was just my digestion just wasn't great, and I pulled it straight back out, went straight back to the gym, Train by JP, and it's been fine. But yeah, like obviously with prep as well, because you do kind of limit the foods that you have in, you do find that your digestion can become even more sensitive. So things like that you may not really notice in the off season, it does become a lot more kind of
Prominent,
yeah, in a prep setting. So yeah.
But yeah, so basically, obviously she's carb loaded the first 2 shows, and we did notice just like your midsection did start to bloat when it got to a certain amount of carbohydrates. And it was always like a bit of a panic then, because like, oh shit, is it gonna come back in ready for the show? Do you know what I mean? But this time then, obviously Neil fat loaded her, and it was the maddest thing I've ever seen. Like she said, food was a lot higher than what it had previously been in the other shows. Also fluids were a lot higher, and obviously, yes, okay, like you're not guzzling the fluid, but considering the amount of food that was in the system and then the amount of water that was in the system compared to other shows, like it was wild, because as the day went on, the midsection just got tighter and tighter. It did not bloat or distend whatsoever, which just shows that like some people, obviously everyone's different, and she definitely responds better to fat loaded. So that was very interesting to see, to be fair. But other than that, then it was just very exciting to see like her step into the show, that one of the shows that was like obviously her main show, an important show. But actually, oh my god, pardon me. Actually seeing her up there then, I was just, well, screaming my head off, as I am in every other show, to be honest.
Let's go, Paige!
But this one was even more so, because she stepped out into the first category, and obviously, like I said, like I don't give a biased opinion, but straight, like obviously everyone looked amazing, but I knew she was on for her categories, and I knew what was coming, so I was just absolutely buzzing in that front row. But to see her confidence this time again, just every time she steps on that stage, it just grows and grows and grows, and she absolutely nailed it, and I couldn't have been prouder. And then to see her get into that overall, the feeling I had was, yeah, I can't even describe it. But not just that, just to see her glowing on the stage as well, it was unreal. And when she did go into the overall end and see her where she stood against the other girls, it's very interesting, and I can know for a fact that the next time it's going to be a very interesting season. So, yeah, but all I can say really, because to be honest, I say it daily. I post it on my socials constantly. If anyone's got me on there, you know how much I praise her and how much I big her up. But all I can say is I am, again, for the 1000th time, extremely proud. Yeah, it's been inspiring to see, like, there's one in it, and then there's her. Because she has not missed a beat. She has not let off the gas whatsoever, not at all. Even on those days where you're like, I'll tick the boxes, do you mean I'll get the boxes ticked, but that intention isn't behind her as much, because you're absolutely wrecked. You're just getting it done, what you need to get done, and that's it. There's not one day where she's just got it done, because like what she needs to get done, and that's it. There's always like extreme amount of intention behind it. She does everything with purpose, and there's not been one moment where she slipped and let that, do you mean, took a little bit of a step back. Not actually gone off plan, but just do you mean, like I said, that intention has always been 100%. So it's been inspiring, and yeah, inspiring to see, and I'm very, very proud of her. One thing I need to mention as well.
What?
Because the viewers wouldn't have known, because we did repeat it twice when we tried to record it, but you haven't.
I'm more brain dead than I was the other day, mind.
True. Where are you competing?
Oh yeah.
They don't know.
Yeah, so I I've decided that, so my last show was meant to be the Two Bros Pro Qualifier. But when I went into PCA Wales, I did qualify for the British finals, which happened to land on the exact same day. And at the time I said I was gutted because I would have loved to have done that as well. But the plan was Two Bros. But originally, like when we timelined in my shows for this season, like I didn't choose them. My previous coach just said to me, we'll put you down for these shows. So he said the Two Bros Regional on the 4th, which I did, and then we'll go in for the Pro Qualifier. And doing a Pro Qualifier isn't something that I would have thought myself to do in my first season, if I'm honest. But obviously with him saying for me to do it, I was like, okay, why not? Like if you think that I've got the potential to go for it in my first season, then why the hell not, innit? So that was kind of always the end goal. But yeah, after doing the Two Bros show, I think I've had a good sit and think about it. Generally, between the two shows, I did enjoy PCA a lot more. But also as well, I just think, if I'm being realistic, like the pro card isn't coming to me this year. And I've come to realise as well that I don't want to have it yet anyway. Because I think the fact that I have had, like I had 3rd place in my first show in PCA. I had 1st place in my 2nd show in FitX, which I went to the overall. I didn't get the overall. And then the same with Two Bros. I had 1st in my categories, went to the overall, again, didn't get the overall. And I think it just made me realise that if I go chasing for my pro card, but yet, like, I still have these little milestones in between that I'd love to hit. For example, just getting that overall title, which I just feel like I'm skipping that. And yeah, it's just kind of, I've sat and I think I've just realised, like, with how much I've actually enjoyed the journey so much, it's not about the status of having a pro card. It's just about being there and doing it and just going for the ride and just, yeah. So I want to be absolutely undeniable when I do go for my pro card. I don't want to go for my pro card and then maybe get it just because I happen to be the best on the day. Like I said, I want to be undeniable. Like I want to already look like a pro when I get my pro card. You know, at the end of the day, like I feel like I live like a pro, which I believe you need to if you want to be a pro. You know, you've got to eat like a pro, you've got to train like a pro, you've got to be adherent and regimented. Like you can't just be half-assing things. But with that, that's how you do eventually get that pro physique. But yeah, with PCA landing on the same day, I decided that I am going to go for the British finals there instead. It is also a pro qualifier, but it's a full-on expo. It's on for the full weekend, so it just means that I can compete on the Saturday, do my thing, and then on the Sunday we can just go back and enjoy the day together. I'll be post-show, so we can just literally just chill, enjoy the show, eat some good food and all that kind of stuff. No, I feel like as well, like, things kind of pan out in a way for a reason, and considering I wasn't meant to do PCA in the first place, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to even go to the British finals. And I just feel like things work in a weird way, and it's like something, like, I don't want to sound all like hippie and weird and all that spiritual stuff, whatever, I don't even know.
That's me.
But it's like, you know, considering I wasn't even meant to do PCA and FitX, like they were like last minute decisions. Like, for whatever reason, my coach put me in that show early when I wasn't stage ready yet. And it's like, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have the opportunity to even go to the PCA British. So I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like it's the right thing for me to do this year. And then, yeah, you know, maybe next season I'll plan in for a couple of shows and we'll plan ahead better, so I'm not jumping into shows last minute and stuff like that. Like, we'll actually structure in, like this year now I've done 4 shows, like even if I do 6 shows next time, wherever, you know. But yeah, because it'll be nice for me to chase an overall title, like I said, first, and then, you know, maybe towards the back end of the season then go in for the pro qualifiers and all that kind of stuff. So yeah,
so I totally agree. And I am hippie-ish, and I'm weird, so fuck it. But I will say the same. Like, everything, I'm a massive, like, I believe there's something out there. I believe there's something that, like, you know, makes things pan out in a certain way at a certain time for a certain reason. Like I believe, like I 100% believe in that. I always say to people, like, everything happens for a reason, and it's just that is
Even like if I didn't do fit decks, isn't it?
well, yeah, this is the thing. That's exactly how things have panned out the way I have. So, because, like, if she hadn't have done FitDex, which is just a random last minute show, she wouldn't have ended up bumping into the coach who she's now with now. If she hadn't have done PCA, she wouldn't have had the opportunity to do the British. Like, all these things have just aligned, and it's so weird how they've aligned. It's the same with my season as well. Like, things panned out the way they did, but I've ended up in a position now where I'm in a position where I'm like, yeah, I'm where I need to be, basically, to move forward with my goals as well. So everything has just panned out the way that it should have, I think. And yeah, definitely I agree with like what she's saying about winning overalls and stuff. It's the same mindset I have as well. Of course, like, everyone wants to be an IFBB pro if you're serious about this and if you genuinely do live it. That is the goal. But also, the card isn't going to bring you happiness. It's not going to satisfy you either. I know people who are IFBB pros, and they've said the same thing. They thought that it would, and when they got them, it's just a piece of paper, it's just a piece of cardboard. It's just a title. Do you know what I mean?
You just end up back at the bottom.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're at the bottom
A lot
again.
more growing to do again.
Yeah, exactly. You work for like what, 5, 7, whatever years, 10 years, some people, to get it, and then it's like, right, okay, I'm starting again now. So you're back at the bottom of the barrel again. Like, do you know what I mean? So. And with her, she's at first places. She wins an overall. Like, essentially, that's the same goal with me. In the future is obviously I want to win classes. I wanna be undeniable, and then overalls, and then move on to that. And I feel like our next season as well, which obviously we're going to take a long off season, both of us in it. But I feel like it'll be the same thing, but it'd also be nice to maybe experience some abroad shows as well.
Yeah.
Like, that's something we've spoke about. Obviously, being in a position to do that, because like anyone who's competed knows competing's expensive, but competing abroad's another ball game again. But yeah, it would be definitely nice to experience some of that as well, maybe. So there's just loads of things that we want to do, and obviously we enjoy the journey, so we're not in no rush. Like, at the end of the day, we're really, really new on our journeys and in our careers, so it's there's no rush for it at all. But yeah, it's I've got no doubt in my mind that the next time she does step on stage, it's gonna happen. Like, I'll say it as it is. Like, do you mean I'll speak her into existence? I'm one of them people, and I believed in her this year, and I said that, like, she was going to achieve a lot this year, and to be honest, everything I said she's going to achieve, she has. So I'm not blowing smoke, and I'm not being biased. Like, I'm just being realistic, and she's there. She's up there running with it. So it's exciting, very exciting. But yeah, looking forward on my side now. Looking forward to seeing her in her last show. It's going to be, we're going out with a bang. Definitely going out with a bang. But also, like you said, she's achieved everything she needed to this year. She's had that validation that she belongs in wellness, that she belongs in the run-in with these top girls. So she got everything she needed out of the season, and this one now is just to go out enjoying it and doing a federation that she enjoys to do in an event that's going to be like I said, full-blown expo. And I'm just looking forward to seeing her up there, and then yeah, enjoying things afterwards.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be nice. Yeah, so her coach is actually doing the PCA British as well on the Sunday, the day after. So
he's in the pro show, though, and he's already pro.
Yeah, he's already PCA pro, so he's doing the pro show. But it'll be nice because obviously she'll be competing on Saturday. Gonna go have a bit of food with her and her family. And then the day after that, we'll be able to watch her coach Neil and see him step up on stage and nail it, because he's just looking absolutely crazy. But yeah, so it's going to be a nice cool event. And then moving on past that, then it's just the future. This YouTube's going to go into more of the off-season stuff.
Winter arc.
The winter arc. Obviously, if you've seen the playlist, it started already. Like the Evolution series, I called it, because that's what we're looking to do, evolve, the pair of us. Hyperbolic chambers are coming. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. So obviously, YouTube isn't stopping after our prep. We got some other things in the pipeline, haven't we?
Yeah, to be honest, I think once I'm out of prep and things are kind of leveled, like obviously my first couple of weeks is going to be focusing on getting health back in a good spot, getting food back up, just getting hormones leveled back out, obviously regain my menstrual cycle, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, like once then I'm like fully in off season and there's a bit more flexibility there, like food's a bit higher and all that kind of stuff. There's definitely a lot more that we're going to be able to bring to the channel. So like, you know, we'll do a bit more vlogging and stuff to show you what we are getting up to and just how our days are looking. But yeah, there'll be a few little different things put in there as well that we'll be able to do, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, we're planning a good few things. Little food things and maybe trying out training sessions and stuff. Training together, which would be nice. Hopefully we can get some of them in. But yeah, there's...
I'll still be on legs probably every day.
Yeah.
So it's going to have to be a leg session.
Yeah, so you'll get to watch me suffering training legs with Paige, so that'll be great. But yeah, there's going to be a load of stuff coming. Like on my side as well, I do apologise. I've been very, very quiet on YouTube and on Instagram in terms of content recently. But obviously, like Paige said, her season is just as important to me as what it is to her. And obviously, I've just wanted to focus on making sure that she just like nails it all the way through. So things will pick up a lot more post-show now. We've got a lot, and I mean a lot, of things that we want to put out content-wise. Loads. There's a massive bank of it. So we're going to be busy filming. But yeah, other than that, there's going to be a lot coming. So stay tuned to the channel because we are going to be bringing a lot to the channel. Apart from that...
We will film as well. The last show. We're probably not gonna like do loads of in-depth stuff on show day. Maybe we'll try and get a little bit more, if we can, than this one.
Yeah.
But obviously what we'll do is then as well we'll combine the following day when we're at the expo, and just show a lot of clips from that day as well. Show you like there's loads of different stalls that's gonna be there. Like I don't even know, like supplement brands, cookies, like different foods and clothing and all that kind of stuff. With the show going on. So we'll get a lot of that filmed, and we'll try and get a bit more from my show day as well, just to have that in there, and we'll combine the two.
I think that's about it, yeah. So there's a bit of a rundown. Obviously a lot shorter of a video, probably not that much shorter after we just rambled for a bit anyway, but yeah, so the next one now, you'll be seeing Paige in her final show, the big finale, and then a bit of normality, if you want to call it that, and the next day in the expo, so
See me eating a nice cookie or something.
But, yeah, actually, talking about cookies, yeah, we got cookie pies and cookies. We've had them in a freezer for over 6 weeks.
Something like that, yeah.
About 6 weeks they've been in the freezer, hidden right to the back so we can't see them. Of Ultimate Treats, shout out Ultimate Treats, Barbie Calves. But yeah, so we'll be taking 1 or 2 of them so she can taste that post-show.
And you.
And me, obviously.
It ain't good for me, is it?
No, and me, half and half. But
yeah, couple of videos time, you'll see me come back to life. I'm not like this all the time, I promise. It does just get to that point in prep. And it's not that I'm moping around and being all like, oh, I hate my life, blah, blah. It's like I'm choosing to do it. But just generally it does suck the life and the energy out of you, which is why I probably just seem very monotoned and just, yeah. But I promise I'm not like that all the time. So yeah, you will see me come back to life in probably even like the next video, just because it will be show day and it'll be the day after, and obviously I'll be on like a high. It'll be, all big buzz and everything. But yeah. They would have noticed it anyway. Because yeah, I suppose the earlier on videos. Yeah, and we wasn't really early in prep then. Yeah, and the one, so there was the video where I did a full day of eating. Yeah. And I was like at the point where I had nothing left in me at that point. And I've watched the video back myself and I just sound like an absolute zombie. Yeah. I was dead. There was nothing to me in it. And then you look at the first series of the Evolution and there's just so much more life in me. I'm back to like bubbly talking, can't shut me fucking up. Yeah. So but it's like the sleep as well, isn't it? Yeah. Her sleep's been really bad. I get like 4 hours, but it's split up into 2 sleeps technically, because I'll fall asleep. I'll sleep for like maybe 2 hours and then I wake up and then I'm awake for about 4 hours and then I'll get back for another 1 or 2 hours, depending on what time it actually is, because our alarm's always set for 5, innit? Yeah. So that on top of just the low food, the high expenditure, and everything else. Yeah.
It's been a rough ride.
But it's worth it.
Yeah. Put it this way, yesterday her aura ring said that she went for 2 naps.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I get like 4 hours, but it's like split into like 2 hours,
Yeah.
two hours sleeps.
Yeah.
So it's technically naps.
2
That's
little
where
naps.
It sees it as naps.
Prep.
But yeah, it's just what happens, and and it's not even just the low food and the high expenditure and everything like that. It's just naturally when your body fat levels do get so low, like your body will do everything it can to force you to eat, basically. Like it doesn't, as much as you recover in your sleep, like it's gonna want to keep you awake because it wants you to go and get food.
Yeah, you're basically going against the natural physiology of your body.
Yeah.
And your body does not like that. You're fighting against your human nature, basically.
Yeah, and I'm definitely the leanest I've ever been in my life.
100%.
Ever.
If you've got her on Instagram, you would have seen what she posted a few days ago. She's literally got full-blown glute striations.
And veins everywhere.
And
everywhere.
We never thought, like, I'm out of us two, I've always been the vascular one, and I. And she said to me at the start, she said to me at the start of this prep, I'd love, if I can get to as vascular as what you are when you're lean, I'd be happy. She surpassed me. Like, completely surpassed me. Yesterday, I looked at her, she was standing there just talking to me, just standing, not doing anything, hadn't been training, nothing. And I think you'd had like 1 meal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think she had like 1 meal, which her first meal, keep in mind, isn't even carbs, and there's no carbs in it.
Eggs and egg whites.
It's eggs and egg whites. And she was standing there talking to me, and I looked, and I swear to God, her body was more veins than actual body. It was ridiculous. But yeah, so she's absolutely like, she's blown my mind with showing me what she's capable of, and on top of that, just how far she can take it. And it's just 100% just clarified to me that everything I've said that she is going to achieve in the future, there's no doubt in my mind that she's going to do it. And 100%, not just because of the genetics and the like structure of her and what she's built over the years to be in this position and the physique that she's got, but the mindset. Because I'm telling you now, it doesn't matter how good you are, what your genetics are like how you look, if your mindset isn't right, you're never going to get to the top. Because you'll hear a lot of people say this, and it's like, you can have someone who's got the pro card and got to a certain level because of their genetics, and then you've got a person who hasn't got the genetics but has worked their ass off to get to that point. And when those two people are at the same point, that person with the genetics probably isn't working as hard because they've got there without actually having to try as hard, do you know what I mean? But then you've got a person that's had to absolutely kill themselves to get there. Once they get to the same point as the person with the good genetics, they're going to surpass them because they're going to be hungrier, they're going to be used to and want to work harder than that other person. So it's not just about genetics, like essentially hard work, even if you haven't got the best genetics, it will get you further than that person with the good genetics if they haven't got the same work ethic as you. So it's all about just grinding and getting there, because a lot of people think, my genetics ain't the best, there's no point in me trying. Like, that is not the mindset to have, and it is all about your mindset 100%. Even down to like going into bodybuilding, like the same with like Paige doesn't care about her placing. It's not about the placing, it's about bringing your best package. If you only care about the placing, that's another thing that's going to mess you up, because there's going to be times where things may not go your way, even though everyone thought it should have been you the one, blah blah blah. They may not go that way on the day, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you think, it doesn't matter what the crowd thinks.
It doesn't matter what you think!
All that matters is what those judges think, and this sport is based off opinions at the end of the day. So if their opinion and they what they like to see, their preferred structure or what they prefer in that type of category, if you ain't that, then you ain't winning. Simple as, doesn't matter how impressive you are. Yeah, so that's me waffling again, so I'm going to stop. But yeah, that's a bit of an insight to anyone who's watching this and maybe considering bodybuilding or competing or whatever. That's a bit of an insight for you guys, because a lot of people get into this with the wrong mindset, and it can really, really dishearten and, to be honest, mess some people up. Because at the end of the day, it is a sport of opinions. That's another thing I've seen as well. There's not just the opinions of the judges, it's the opinion, like, you're going to have comments off the people in the crowd, you're going to have comments off social media, that's the biggest one as well. If you think it's hard, because obviously we're coaches, I've had clients in the past that have struggled because their family have not been very supportive, and they've made negative comments like, oh, you need to eat a little, or why are you doing that? What's the point? All this type of stuff, and not being supportive and just making their journey seem negative. If you think it's hard to have your family kind of having those negative opinions and comments and making those negative comments on your journey, imagine the whole fucking internet doing it. Because they will, like, when you get to a certain level as well, especially if you've got made a name for yourself, you're going to have eyes on you, and the more eyes you have on you, the more opinions are going to be there. So, these are just things to take into account. Like, you need to do it for yourself and nothing else. External validation, if you're doing it for validation of other people, it's going to wreck you. Do you know what I mean? If you're doing it just for first place, it's going to wreck you. You need to do it because you love it, and it's simple as that. That is the only, like, if you're going into this for any other reason, I would highly advise against it, because it will crush you if things don't go the way you want it to. Simple as. And that's my 50 pence.
Yeah. It's an extreme sport, isn't it? So, you've got to be pretty, like, it's made me a lot stronger as a person, but I think you need to have a foundation there already. And it's like Keenan said, you just need to be doing it for the right reasons. Even if you're not that strong mentally, I think if you are doing it for the right reasons, you'll build on that resilience and mental strength over the time. The more you push yourself each day and you get through each hard day and everything, that will build over time. Yeah. But yeah, you definitely need to do it for the right reasons. I've been very lucky. Like, my family have been very, very supportive. And the thing is, if your family isn't supportive, and they don't understand, it's not their job to understand. So try to not take it out on them either. That is also very important. But if they do understand and they are there for you, then even better. It does make it a lot easier. But yeah, in the sense of having like negative comments and stuff, no one said anything directly to me. I don't know if people have said anything to some, behind my back or whatever. If they have, it's none of my business. I don't know anyway, so I don't care. But yeah, I have been very, very lucky in that respect. I've only had positivity and praise and all the good stuff. So I have been very, very lucky with that.
Just for a final subject, you said about building resilience, the more you do it. So, like, that even comes down to your condition and how you bring yourself to stage. So, you'll hear sometimes, if you like follow bodybuilding or you watch other YouTubers or bodybuilders and stuff like that, you'll sometimes hear them when they're with a client and they'll say, you'll see a first timer basically, for example, you see a first timer get on stage and they are skinned, and you'll see someone say like, you've prepped like a pro. So essentially they've got as conditioned as what a pro would, because, do you know what I mean? You've handled it like you've done your first season as if it's not your first season kind of thing, like, do you know what I mean? And there are people out there that do that, but if you don't manage to get fully like absolutely skinned out of your brain, like, essentially it's not the end of the world, because every time you do it, your body gets more, like, adapts to it almost, and you get used to it, you learn to be more efficient and you learn to handle it better. Like last year when I did my first season, it was hard. It was hard again this year, but there was different things I found hard this year to last year. So last year I'd say it was more mentality in the way of my emotions, I'd say, was the bit that I struggled with the most. And then towards the back end, it was cravings. This year, it was not as much those things, but then there was other external factors I'm not going to go into properly, but there was other things that came up that caused like things to be quite hard. But yeah, you just get used to it every year, and essentially like the way I put it is, as you come into the second season, say it's your second season, and you run into the same type of things that you did the season before, it's like, oh, you know what, I've been here before, I know how to handle it, so it's not as bad. Whereas like my first season, there was multiple times I thought I was dying, like literally thought I was dying. And then this season, it was like I got to those points and I was like, I'm not dying. I'm just this is part of it.
Yeah, like you feel like you are, but
yeah,
you're not.
No, but the first season, your first time experiencing, because I'm telling you now, if someone's never competed and never got to true stage condition and they try to tell you that they understand how you feel, they fucking don't. And I'm going to be completely honest, that's one thing that really winds me up sometimes. Because unless you have actually been to true stage condition and taken it there is no way in hell you can explain to someone or get someone to understand what it feels like, because it's undescribable. You just got to go through it yourself to actually realize, like, to understand it. But that's one thing I'll say is that obviously if you have competed this year and you feel like you could have done better, it's not the end of the world. You will get better and more efficient, and you will learn to handle prep better every time. You'll just...
It's all about just improving it with each and every season, isn't it? Whether that's down to muscularity or condition, or even mindset, whatever it is, you know. Like with me now, I feel like because of my because I'm in wellness, I feel like it's a bit of a grey area as well. Like some federations will say like they want that full condition, they want that hard grainy look, but then others will say no, like we like a softer, fuller look or whatever, you know. Whereas like with like figure, for example, like you know that you pretty much need to be shredded. But yeah, like I just said, like I just want to get as conditioned as I possibly can, even if it's not awarded in the last show, like that's fine. I just wanted to give myself that challenge of just pushing as much as I can. And yeah, I know that like my main thing is that I need to put more size on my lower. So that is what I'm going to be mainly focusing on improving next time. And with that, like realistically, I shouldn't need to get as lean as what I have this year, because that detail and definition will come through with just bigger, denser muscles, really. So yeah, I mean, you know, if I need to bring the same condition, the same level of body fat, it is what it is. Like I'm happy to do that. Like I've done it now this year, so I know what to expect next time. But yeah, like if you don't get to that point where you reach that level, that body fat percentage that you might have hoped to, so like Keenan said, you know, you can just think right next time now. And it's obviously something that between you and your coach, whatever the reason is why that you didn't get there, you know, it can be poor planning. It may be like you've just kind of gone off plan because it is your first prep and you don't know how to handle it. Like it does happen. Maybe things just weren't timelined properly, or maybe it was just the case that, you know, because it is your first season, it's just that that's the only kind of standard that you maybe planned to get to, just to not push yourself too much, if that makes sense. Like it can be many different reasons, I guess. But yeah, like that's what you can aim towards the next time, is bringing that better package. So whatever that means to you, like I said, whether it's more size, density, condition, whatever it is, but the aim is always to be better anyway. It should be
1% better every day. That's what it's all about. Never complacent. If you're a true bodybuilder, you're never going to be happy anyway. No matter how muscle you have, how much muscle you have, no matter how many trophies you have, you're never going to be satisfied. And that's the beauty of our sport. There's always room to progress. There's always room to do more. And for people like us, we love that. When we're stagnant and nothing's progressing is when our heads start to go. So we like to be always moving forward, always progressing, always working on ourselves and improving things. So yeah, that's one reason why we love this sport. But we're going to probably leave it there now because meals need to be done.
I need to pee. I've had Pete Max today.
She's on diuresis mode. If anyone doesn't know what that means, it means basically you pee more to flush water out your system and get drier. But yeah, so we're going to leave it there. Meals need to be eaten, heels need to be put on, and posing need to be practiced as well. But I still notice 75% of you are not subscribed that are watching. So please go hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a penny and it takes you 2 seconds. On top of that, again, I did actually have people comment on the last video, burrito bowl. So just to show that they got to the end of the video. So I respect that a lot. And I do, the engagement's getting more on the channel, which I'm loving. Like I'm loving responding to people. And if anyone's got any questions, they want help on anything, they want any advice, like feel free to comment in the comment section as well below, because I'd be more, and I'm sure Paige would be the same, so I'd be more than happy to answer. Obviously we both got access to the YouTube, so we'll answer any questions you've got. Other than that, if you have made it to the end of the video, comment down below peeled Paige. So I know that you've got to the end of the video. Other than that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with your family, friends and your dog, and we'll see you in the next one.